Welcome back to another episode of the Black Cinema Experience
Podcast.
I'm your girl JB. This is Cameron, and today we have two very special guests.
Very special.
We decided we're going to have a best friend episode, specifically designated to best friend relationships and how that comes out on TV. I brought my best friend here, and her name is...
I'm Tiana.
Yay! And then we have Cameron's best friend here, and his name is...
Kevon.
And we are so excited to talk to you today about...
Insecure. One of our favorites. Is an amazing show that talks a lot about friendship and Black friendships, and want to discuss that with you all.
Black excellence, Black Hollywood, Black
Absolutely.
LA life, Black everything. So we brought our best friends to help dissect these best friends that we have watched for the last 5 seasons. To start off, Cameron, before we go anywhere on this show, what is your favorite dynamic in the show? Like your friendship dynamic, what relationship do you love the most?
I guess I can say the relationship between Tiffany and Kelly.
Okay, Tiffany and Kelly are side stars. They're
Wow.
Side
Everybody's
stars.
except for
Okay,
Molly and Issa, but I feel like I love Kelly and Tiffany.
No, they have
Yeah.
a strong friendship dynamic. Let me get everybody's favorite before we talk about
We'll come
it.
back to that.
Yeah. Tiana, what is your favorite friendship dynamic on the show?
I'm gonna have to go with friendship dynamic. I like Derek. Wow, I like Derek's friendship as a relationship guy as it pertains to the other men in the group.
Okay.
He's always like the stand-up
He
guy
brings everybody
friend.
together.
Yeah, brings them down, humbles them, like reminds them, like, hey, you guys, like we're the men here, like we're the men.
Yeah.
So I do like Derek in that.
I like Derek too.
Yeah,
I like Derek.
I didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
If you like Derek, you like the friendship dynamic.
Yeah.
Derek.
Right. Well,
He doesn't
that's a
have
good
many
point.
scenes, but his scenes that he's in, he's doing good.
He is doing good.
He's
He
doing good.
is.
I think-
Kevon?
I think the one that plays well for me on screen is it's definitely gonna have to be like Kelly and Issa's brother. Like
Oh,
that are
yes.
so funny. Like every time they get on screen together,
Yeah.
it's like just something hilarious.
The
Like
dynamic is so crazy, but there's none other than my favorite episode of Kelly when she's like from Brixton
Yes.
and she's dating
The rapper.
Amine, right?
yes,
Yeah, and then Kelly's brother comes around, and Issa's brother, comes around. He's like making her like mess up and asking her questions that she don't know. And I'm just like, I love this episode because their beef is so legit.
Yeah.
Like,
girl,
when
it's
you
like
make somebody that you love, because you're like required, you're my best friend's
And you
brother.
know them
Yeah,
forever.
I have
you know.
to take care of you, but I also hate you. You're my arch nemesis. My favorite. I love that. Good.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
guys are. I was
Yes.
thinking about the best friends, and they did not come to play.
No, seriously.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess I'll be basic and say Molly and Issa.
okay.
Okay.
And I don't mind being basic. Okay, I love the
Okay.
best friend relationship. I love the fallout and the fall ends because it mimics real life.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that'll be my reason. But let's get back to yours though.
Ooh.
Your sub relationship with Kelly and Tiffany.
Sub. He said,
I'm
Molly
sorry,
Kelly.
sub. I meant
Right.
sub.
Derek.
Oh, but hold
Right,
on.
I know. I said Derek, and I was
He
like,
said Derek.
ooh.
Random stuck up there. But anyway.
Not random stuck up there.
We don't talk
Dang.
about that.
Wow.
First of all the characters are beautifully written. I feel like we got a lot of diversity, which I really appreciated.
Mhm.
And I liked that Kelly and Tiffany were side characters. I feel like it was like a good to see another best friend pair, but not be all up in their business. So you guys got the good mostly. I mean, we saw some vulnerable moments with Tiffany telling Issa, she felt ostracized by everybody because she was pregnant.
Mhm.
She was the only one pregnant, so she was the only one about to embark on that endeavor of
That was a horrible scene to watch.
Yeah.
But it was so true though. It needed to be
No.
said.
Was
Like,
it because Amanda Seales acting in that was really so fun?
It definitely was giving mid.
Yeah, it wasn't her best. Like, I mean, she's not a bad
yeah,
actress.
she's a great actress.
That just wasn't her best acting.
That's,
that
and I
scene.
agree with you.
I was like, this doesn't feel real. Like, you're really telling your bestie, like, girl, you've been absent. Like that. It just didn't feel genuine.
I feel like it was because that's Tiffany's character. Like when she's really all like in front of everybody, like and like everything's all perfect. Then she gets tired and she's like, "Fuck that!" And then excuse my
That's
French,
true.
but it's like like I feel like we got to see Tiffany actually develop because I feel like I hated Tiffany in the first season. I hated her, but as we got to see, like, her being bipolar or struggling with depression.
Postpartum after the
Yes,
baby.
and
Yeah,
then
that was a good episode.
just seeing her life, and it wasn't like it didn't need to be like in depth, but you got to see her grow, and I really like that, especially with her and Kelly, because it got really intense when Kelly felt like she was being replaced by a baby.
Yeah.
Which you do feel like when you're having like when somebody has kids, and you don't have any kids, like they love somebody more than you now. Essentially, it's not their fault, So
yeah, but Tiffany was doing some shady stuff. Like she didn't let Kelly help clean the baby shower, and basically kind of replaced Kelly in her life with other randos.
Yeah,
but thank you. I'm like team fuck Tiff, like I don't give a fuck. Like the reality situation is like when you are in friendships, like I feel like you don't when you're going through things like you don't have to like completely ostracize your friend.
Absolutely.
Or, like, you don't have to you can still include your friend in long distance, all types of things. And so I was like, I really just didn't understand like why the mess.
Yeah.
And Tiffany's always with the mess. So.
Yeah, but I feel like she does come from a different life than I feel like. But I feel like even you can see even with like Kelly, Issa, and Molly, like they can vibe together just as a trio. But Tiffany is always kind of like that odd one out, and that does happen in groups. I feel like at 4, sometimes it's like always that friend like you always just causing a division, or you're like always like you can be at ends with somebody else of the group all the time, But that's reality.
I know. I said, "Who is it?" in us, and then I realized it was me.
No.
Oh my god!
I was just thinking, like, genuinely, how is that like the case when like Tiffany stayed like talking about like, well, I'm just gonna leave my man Derek, like I'm gonna go do about like like she always chooses that, you know what I mean, like. So I don't really know. I don't really know if it's really ostracized, like if she's really being ostracized at a time, or if it's genuinely
or she's just the only one in a relationship,
or is it just some of her choice, like accumulation of her choices? You know what I mean?
Well, I think her character is supposed to be that, like, I'm a good girlfriend, I'm a good woman to my man.
Right.
So it does make sense that she's absent more than the others. It actually just adds to her character for me. Because, I mean, if I was that bitch, then I would be that bitch, Like, that's it. But, okay, so we got some good dynamics there. We like Kelly and Tiffany. I don't think any of these comments could be bad. I think all the characters are written and developed so well that we can't help but to talk about all the different dynamics that we see.
True.
I didn't even say my favorite, which my favorite is between Lawrence and his best friend. I can't think of the nigga, the light-skinned nigga.
Oh, the one that he made all the jokes.
Yeah, all the jokes.
Oh my goodness.
He basically is the dog of dogs, always cheating on his girl, always up to no good.
Trying to give a relationship advice.
Always gives bad advice to his best friend. But like one thing that he do is he shows up. You know what I mean? And even though like they were just a very honest, very like fucked up friendship. Like we always wonder who gives our men the bad advice. It's
right.
Him.
It's him.
It's this friend, and this is who they listen to. He's their leader
because he got money on.
Right.
Because he had money. Okay.
And always stayed with the girl.
And he did. He did. He always got her back.
Yeah.
But he was so annoying. Like I don't know how she dealt with it.
I loved it, but let's not, because you actually had a really good one. You had a dynamic between.
Oh, you mean Derek and the guy against? Because when Lawrence had the baby, Derek was a real friend.
Yeah.
To help him through that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's something so special about that happening in the show. We don't see enough like on TV men getting together and like honoring each other and supporting each other, having safe emotional spaces. So I just love like whoever decided to pencil that in and make Derek that nigga and make the community like that. Like shout out to you, because we are breeding a healthy generation of black men. At least that's the goal.
All right.
Yeah. I love that. Wonderful character moment.
Let Derek shine. Let him shine.
Yeah.
Derek.
And he was fine too.
He was. Somebody was good.
Yeah. But I didn't know he was black at first. I was just.
He's
black, but
he
he's
speaks
black.
Spanish in most of his other roles.
But he's black in something else though.
Some in it. Some in it.
It's somewhere.
We don't know
something
where.
That can get it. That's what I do know for sure. Something that is definitely something that looks good.
Yeah. definitely looks good.
Well, who'd you say again? You said you want.
I said Kelly and
Amon's
brother. Yes. That's his name, because I forgot that man's name.
I just feel like for Amon's character, I feel like why he had to be so vindictive all the time. I feel like I never saw him.
Because he was good at it.
Well, like first of all, he's definitely like the younger sibling, right?
Yeah. Right.
So it's like it's giving younger sibling vibes, like when you like have a younger sibling, and like your friends are like around all the time. You know what I mean? Like it just gives you that like vibe that they've all been
Yeah.
friends forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that they can joke like that. You know what I mean? Because like his interaction ain't salty with nobody else but Kelly.
I know,
You know
he's
what I
so
mean?
delightful.
He's such a joy all the time.
But I feel like he's also the only person that can put a chip in Kelly's armor because Kelly gets everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But like with the mom, like it's always like he got me.
Yeah,
I was like,
he always one ups her.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But speaking of Kelly, one thing I really like about her character is that she is like this plus size, goofy, still main character. Like on TV, a lot of times if you see a big character, the show either has to be about big people, like it's like they have to be the main character, or they're this disgusting bully type character. And Kelly was just there being the girl that we know down the street that still pulls niggas somehow or whatever. And it's just funny as fuck. Like Kelly represented like a carefree black girl and who was getting money and
successful,
just on her shit. Yeah,
carefree black girl,
very happy, and they always kept her well dressed.
Absolutely,
she looked good. And then at the end, everybody got a man. Well, let me come back to that.
I don't know about that part.
Well, we should talk about relationships. Let's talk about Molly and Issa. And
okay.
I mean, we love Molly and Issa. Molly and Issa are, obviously the main characters, but they really do give like, we're the best friends, obviously. And we're in it to win it essentially. But I do feel like sometimes I really felt like Molly was really too much in the friendship. And I know like sometimes she felt like she was like trying to carry Issa, but I just feel like she was giving Bugetto too much for me.
I can see that. I can see that.
I would like more clarification.
Well, please. It's just the way like Molly would come at Issa when Issa would be vulnerable, and like I know at some point in your friendship you get to the point where you feel like I can say anything to you. You don't necessarily take offense. But I still feel like at those really sensitive times, like like when I'm really down, I feel like Molly would sometimes do that one too. Like you're down, but let me help bring you down just a little bit lower. And I'll be like, Molly, why are you doing this when she helped you all the time?
Yeah. Molly was a very selfish character.
Yeah. But I'm like, again, I feel like they kind of resolved that towards the end. But I still feel like I don't know if that was just like her personality, but that used to really bother me, especially the first 2 seasons.
I think they really had to be okay with who each other were.
Okay.
And in order to do that, because I don't think either one of them changed their expectations as far as their friendships. I think they just were better about presenting it to each other. Because Molly was still selfish. Molly is still selfish, and Issa is, still Issa, but better about loving each other and loving that part of them. And accepting it, because when they wouldn't apologize, they were going weeks without talking to each other.
Yeah.
And it made sense. Like, you don't always want to be the friend that's always going to that person first and saying like, "Hey, we haven't talked to each other in a few weeks."
Yeah.
You don't always want to be that person.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, being friends and also having our own conflicts, how do you feel like they resolve conflict? Do you feel like they resolve conflict well, just in general throughout the show? Like Nathan.
No, they did a horrible job of
Yeah,
they're actually what most people look like. Yeah. And that's why most people are unhappy.
Yeah.
They actually don't get any resolutions in their conflict. Are you kidding me? All that shit is just gonna repeat again. Yeah. Next time that, Nathan
Tori act up or
something. Anybody act up. It's gonna be like, girl, well, you should do this. And it's like, no, fuck you. And then it's like, they're not friends again for another year. They didn't resolve anything, actually. Yeah. It was really bad. They should have talked it through.
It was what was interesting to me was just like how long it took, and then how like they just consistently went to like other people to talk about it. And it was like, why not just go to that person like if he was gonna say something? But it's like I don't know. I feel like that transparency and like real friendship is the most like one of the most important aspects. Like I can just go to my friend and be like, hey, like I'm not having a good time with you right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, versus like us like dragging it out for like months. That's why I felt like I was like really irritated, because I was like, I feel like you really wasted like a good season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you really wasted a good season on some conflict that really didn't have to be. Like they could have just been like happy and had some other drama. Because Molly's mom died, and then so like all these other things were gonna happen anyway. Like why make it to where like we having some like weird like beef over something that really wasn't that deep at the time, and then like we take it back and now it's like we done fold back all these layers and now it's deep now. Like, I don't know, like it just the way it kind of like all unfolded, I was like, this is a little extra, but okay.
Yeah. Are you talking about like? Because I want to be specific.
Mhm.
When Molly did the whole thing at the fair because Issa called her nigga and got the
Got
little
help?
help,
Yes.
Mhm.
and Molly was like, "I can't believe you did that," type thing, and it was like, "Molly, you selfish bitch."
All the
Right. Right.
Exactly.
Like, how
Like,
could
all
you
the
even watch the
time.
episode and not think
Yeah.
you were the most selfish person in the world?
Especially
Like,
like
what?
when she went to back for you multiple times. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like Issa would Issa had her selfish moments too. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like she's always been like the one to go to bat for you. And
Yeah.
then Molly has had her back, like when she talked to Lawrence and stuff in front of him.
But
But
Molly,
it's just
Molly don't have her back the way
No.
I would want my
No.
friend to have her back.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
You know,
Molly.
when Nathan
Yeah.
came with the flowers.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I was just about to
If
say
my
that.
man came with some flowers, you better make sure it can get delivered. I don't care if he's my man or ex-man.
You know?
I don't care if he's a stalker. That shit better reach me.
Like that's not information for you to choose to withhold from me.
Right.
Like you don't get that.
That's
Like
not your choice.
but you don't
That's
think she
not-
had best intentions?
it doesn't matter. Share those intentions. Share
She has
those
poor
intentions with
boundaries.
me.
Yeah.
She has like she's a steamroller, so she like doesn't know like good boundaries with other people.
Yeah.
Like she had poor boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, and so it was just like it made for a hot mess of a character. Like
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like Molly like that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Whew.
Well, just as a little small sidebar, I know we don't talk about this much, but it's like really, really small subject. But they had an argument at a breakfast table about this. Who do you think really broke the vase?
Issa broke the
Issa
vase.
or Molly? Who's
Issa
lying?
broke the vase. Issa broke the vase.
What face?
So you remember, like, it's one episode they talk about an argument they had, like why Issa can't stay with Molly because that's why she was staying with Daniel. And she was
in
like,
the very beginning.
she was like, we have problems, and she's like, why'd you break my vase? They both said at the same time, she's like, I didn't break your vase.
Mhm.
You think Issa broke the vase?
Mm.
I don't think so.
I don't think Issa broke the vase.
I think like
Issa broke the vase for sure.
I think I think Molly's dog Flavor Flav like
Broke the
accidentally knocked it over or something, and Molly didn't know.
Wow, you would blame it on the dog?
because
No,
dogs break
but my
stuff.
thing is, I feel like Molly blame everything on Issa anyway. You know what I mean? Like every time like they get into
Issa's
a-
clumsy.
Just because she told me she clumsy.
People get blamed for things because they do things.
Well, she is awkward. I mean,
Yeah.
in the show, that's like part of her personality being like really awkward, and not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like she owns up to stuff. She's like, girl, I'm so sorry.
But you think Molly wouldn't take ownership over breaking the vase if she broke the vase?
No.
It's not like Molly don't have it to not replace it.
Right. Right. She
No,
wouldn't
but I
blame
feel like
someone.
Molly would just blame Issa and then be like, oh, like.
But she wouldn't even. That wouldn't even give her any joy because it's not like Issa could pay her back.
That's why my fan fiction is Flavor Flav broke it.
Don't blame it on the dog, Cameron.
Or
None of this matters.
no, because you were talking about unsolved trauma, and I just had like a moment about. I was like,
She's just gonna blame it on the dog. Dog can't even defend himself.
But what about the ending? So let's get right to the nitty gritty because this is the hard meat and potatoes of what I want to talk about.
Okay.
We were with them for 5 seasons.
Mhm.
We stuck it out for Issa, Lawrence, Nathan, Issa, whatever was going on.
30-minute episodes.
The
We're not even we're not gonna talk about that.
I'm saying
That's
we
what
stuck
I
with
mean.
it. though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
And they
saying.
know we deserved more.
They're right.
But they
We
kept us
deserve
waiting.
better.
Right.
We did.
Right.
We did. But when the season ended, right, and she was with Lawrence,
Mm-hmm.
how did you feel?
I agree.
Oh.
You agree with what? That she should have ended up with him?
Well, I feel like if they had to have her with somebody, if they had to, it had to be Lawrence. Like from what I had saw from what she had been through.
If
you know?
you mean if it was either Lawrence or Nathan, and they had to choose.
No, out of all of them, I feel like it should have been security guard because he actually was a cool dude, but she was just trying to
So
play.
you
him.
don't understand the role that the security guard plays in our real
Yeah.
life. That's a nigga who dropped off the D. You know what I mean? You don't.
You gotta give him a chance, but
You
I
don't
feel
care
like
about
Like
house with
together
him.
forever.
No.
I feel like they both got to a point to where, like I'm saying, that they both got to a point where like they were ready to be together finally.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And like I remember a friend saying a while ago, she was like when Issa had that flashback or that flash forward and saw Lawrence like spend the rest of her life with Lawrence, that was already a done deal. And I feel the same way. I think it was the end of episode or season 1 where she like saw her.
Was she like on a
plane
plane?
and married?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
that
got to fast
was-
forward, and that's that was the indicator.
But she also had one for Nathan because she
But at
was
the end,
traveling
because-
somewhere.
But she was trying to negate what she had already had in her heart because that's she was like,
Mm,
could
yeah.
I do it without Lawrence?
Yeah.
And I just feel like she couldn't.
I just feel like Lawrence didn't breed her to be like a creative person. Like he didn't support her best vision,
Mhm.
so he didn't deserve her best self. Like, there's a reason why you don't go back to your exes. And, like, for me, that was just like, oh, wow. So you're living your best life with a man who forgot about you.
Well, basically, Lawrence didn't breed Issa's creativity. He didn't push her to be anything.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
He didn't, like, create her. Like, he didn't encourage her to be that version of herself.
It was like a settle. Issa ending up with Lawrence was like a settle. It was like, of course, the option's already there.
Yeah.
You feel like all the progress he's made, it's a settle?
It was a settle because you got a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the big thing. I feel like a lot of people if he didn't have a child, it would have been different.
It would have been different.
Yeah,
because they could start off at the same level together.
Because now you're a scrub. Like, what do you mean?
I gotta love this extension of you.
Okay.
Gotta deal with another woman for the rest of our
lives.
And I have to like be reminded of the fact that like we really like didn't have that together.
Right.
Like, you know,
right.
Like,
we broke up for 6 months and you got
exactly
you had a baby on me.
Me and your father been together 10 years.
It wasn't even that
Subtract
long,
the 4 that this happened.
Right.
And like, I mean, it's just real messy and it's real settling.
Yeah. It gives settling vibes.
Settling vibes.
It says she reached your highest potential.
Exactly.
It said the bar was not.
Besides, her and Nathan were traveling.
I hope they broke up.
That's true.
Absolutely not.
Broke up.
And her get away unscathed too.
Yes,
that means
you know what I'm saying?
No
like,
baby.
Let Issa. I feel like I was hurt because I felt like Issa didn't even get a chance. Like, I feel like she struggled. I feel like she struggled 5 seasons.
She did.
Yeah.
Like, she struggled 5 whole seasons, and then we get to the end, she's like, she with Lawrence. And, like, that's, like, ooh, she kind of, like, she a little successful, and she with Lawrence, and, like, congratulations. Like, I don't know. Like,
you don't think that she was actually very happy because this was what she wanted the whole time? That's what I got. Like, she was like, this is what I wanted from the beginning.
Here he goes patriotic. She wanted the whole time. She wanted him the whole time.
But she, I think she didn't.
Well, who was around telling her
did she
that
really
could
want
better?
Lawrence after the baby? Did she really want him?
Okay, since we're all doing this Lawrence hate, who do you want to see Issa with? Now I'm talking about in the cast, not some future guy that's perfect for her. Who do y'all want her to end up with?
They actually could have ended it with her not being with anybody.
Yeah, they could have.
Because Nathan, that just wasn't going to be healthy moving forward, and Lawrence that's not fair.
Almost like Torian came out of nowhere from Molly, so we could have just had a nowhere person come.
Right.
He did not come out of nowhere, guys. He was her coworker, and they hated each other. They really built that relationship up because they really didn't like each other at all. And he was short with her. Mm-hmm. But then it made more and more sense when they got to them like falling in love because she needed somebody who was gonna be short with her. Mm-hmm. Shut her ass up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Quiet her down. I like Torian. But like as far as Issa, like, yeah, of course, like it's a sick story, but of course I'm happy to see her with Lawrence. I love my exes. I love them niggas. Are you kidding me? They bring me joy. Of course I'm happy to see her with Lawrence, but you know, I do wish that she didn't settle. I do feel like it was a little bit of a settle to go back there. That's all.
It's a nice house though.
Yeah.
They had a nice house.
She had a nice outfit.
She had a nice outfit. They had money.
She got money. She got money.
I mean, it was nice.
Money makes your life better.
I didn't say that.
It does. It does. It's a fact. You need it. But
you said so.
I stand by Lawrence.
So who do you think she should end up with?
Between Lawrence and Nathan?
Yeah. Oh, not even. You can be date. What was?
Oh, I chose nobody.
Daniel.
Yeah, she chose nobody.
I chose nobody. Oh. Yeah. Not Daniel either. He didn't know what he had.
Why couldn't she just like boss it out and thug it out and like now she on
find somebody new?
Like it could have like had a slew of like her just like dating multiple people at the end.
Remember
you know what I mean? Like,
do you remember when Kofi played One Little Designs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been hot.
Yeah, because I mean, why did you have him on the show if you weren't going to do that with him? Why did you have him on the show if you weren't going to make him a love interest?
Thank you.
Why did you have him on the show
if he wasn't going to?
Because every relationship we have with opposite sex doesn't have to be.
Yeah, we understand that, but hire somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else do it.
They know what they brought him there for.
Yeah.
No. But think about this too. Like, she had 5 seasons where she could have given every character a love, you know? Mm-hmm. But she went 5 seasons, and then on the last episode, everybody got a man. Everybody's man is here. You know, Molly's getting married. Kelly got a man all of a sudden. You know, Tiffany's still with Derek, and now Issa's on a date. Like, why did you take us through 5 seasons and then rush us through one final episode? Yeah. I'm pissed off about the season finale. I always hate season finales, but that to me was like, wow, girl. So you really was like, I don't want to fuck with the 6th season. even though you have an open book for us here, like you should have given us time to build with Kelly's love.
Yeah.
Time to build with Molly and Torian so we can see the ups and downs and how he really controlled her wild behavior. The whole show is built up on them having basically failed relationships.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you rush us through their successful relationships in one episode?
I feel like it can definitely come back later. I feel like that's why they left it like that.
No.
I don't think it's ever.
Or like, I
Put
feel,
her foot down.
I feel like I think it's gonna be like a reunion movie. They always put their foot down.
I hope
I
not.
don't think that it's
Like,
ever
It's gonna be a
coming
movie.
back.
That's
It's gonna be a
like
movie.
Best Man series. No one needed that.
That's another episode.
No one needed to know what was going on in their personal life.
So you're saying
the look inside.
You bring
was
us
like,
all the way to the sequel for her to die. Like, come on, like, never mind.
that happens, but
we're gonna move on.
If you took me through Best Man Holiday, I don't want to talk to you no more.
took,
Do you understand what that did to me? Mm-mm. I did not need to see Morris Chestnut that way.
Like that hurt.
That hurt a little bit.
This has been delightful. Any other key points you have on Insecure?
On Insecure, besides that, it's like one of the best freaking shows. I'm so grateful that I was able to be alive and witness this.
Yeah.
And watch this happen. And
Yeah.
have like a real like black sitcom-ish show on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see black people on TV too. I think that's what you said, right?
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. It makes me feel good too. Yeah, I love it. The design, the costumes, Issa's hairstyles.
It's like real representation of love in your 30s.
Yeah, and seeing black people in dark lighting done correctly.
Yes.
And seeing the B-roll of LA as a Californian when the show came out, we were living in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys were in Arizona.
Yeah. It made you miss
And-
California so much.
And yeah, it made me homesick so much. So it's a perfect example of LA life, I think. Any other comments before we close out this episode?
Well, I just also want to say thank you for bringing up tackling so many different, topics that we got to talk about, like gentrification, education, following your dreams,
Kelly being
racism,
bilingual.
exactly,
Her
and
weight loss
British.
and weight gain. I mean, she went through it all.
It's beautiful to see, pregnancy,
Postpartum.
postpartum.
Uh-huh.
I think it's just
Depression with Lawrence being unemployed.
Yes.
Open relationships
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
with Dro and Molly.
New
was-
fatherhood.
That was freaky.
The wild side.
New fatherhood, yeah.
Mhm.
New
And
motherhood.
being carefree, like
Mhm.
being just carefree black people at times, like like the episode when they went to Coachella.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, having a good
A
time.
regular
Yeah.
story. Nobody had to be a crackhead or a prostitute or a pimp or a drug dealer.
And
Yeah.
we like
But-
regular black people.
But I have
We
had a
we are
crackhead.
them. We
Yeah.
know them.
Right.
I have had a
They
crackhead
exist.
friend though, so I understand that y'all bring in some.
There always has to be one.
It's not me.
It's
No,
It's him.
All
right.
He has the crackhead
Everyone's
friend.
looking around. Who
I'm
is
shaking
it?
right now.
Yeah.
Stop.
No.
All right, cool. I'm good with that.
Alrighty.
Close it out, boss.
Well, thank you for such a wonderful episode. Again, my name is Cameron.
I'm your girl JB.
This is Kevon.
I'm Tiana.
And thank you for watching another episode of the Black Cinema Experience Podcast. Thank you guys.
I got it that time.
That was the first time and the only time that we ever got it.
Oh my goodness.